Good morning, Tracy Brown here. I hope you guys are doing great. Let me make sure my volume's okay. Yep, the top as high as I can go. So one quick announcement before I jump into this video from the kind of little snippet of a client situation that I want to be talking to you all about. But so it's a little insider extra peek into what I'm working on. So before I talk about that, the announcement is I would love to hear more responses from you all from the survey I put out this past, I'm sorry if I can't remember if it was Monday, or it was this weekend, or even Friday. I have to go back and look. But basically, I am creating, it's almost like you guys kind of asked, so I'm creating it. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time anyway, but I'm motivated, so I let the grass grow, let's do it. So I'm making a case study series, and so this will be the first one. If people love this, I'll do maybe more, probably more, because there's all kinds of situations to discuss. But so anyway, this is going to be a 3-series case study, and I think I talked to you all on the survey about what the studies are going to be. So we're going to have a 2-part assessment. We're going to have, and this one's longer on purpose because I wanted to share with you honestly how I handled it. Now I have other, I might throw in a bonus, like, you know, here's an assessment in an hour kind of thing. I might do that too. But the other case study involves what I'm going to talk to you about today. And in the third one, I'm still kind of waiting for more of y'all's responses. I have one for body image, and I will get on that for sure. If there's more of those, for sure I'm going to do that one. If there are an exceeding amount of other kinds of things you want to talk about, then that's what I'll do. So anyway, let's see here. I think we'll just go on to the case study. So earlier this morning, and for those of you who are watching live, I'm talking about the survey I put out for your preferences for case study review. And so if you get a chance to go take that survey, please do. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, so the client, this is the client I'm going to have in the case study review, but I'm going to give you a few more sneak peeks since you all are in the group with me and share your time with me, and I really appreciate that, so I want to give back. All right, so this client is, again, this will be all in the written and audio deep dive form when if you guys get the case study review little package. It's going to be 3 views. Anyway, so what do we do when a client says, like, I know I'm eating normally and why am I gaining weight? And so I know we had a really awesome response from Lynn, like, well, it depends on the context, but I want to know what their relationship with their weight is. And that's a really, really good response. And that's something that I've done with her. So if you don't already know their relationship with, like, where they've been in different parts of their life, depending on their food behaviors, that's something you definitely need to know. If you don't know and you haven't gleaned that from the first appointment or two, that's something you want to go back and review. Like, well, when is the last time have you ever been this size? And when was that? And what were you doing with your food and your weight and your movement? And what was happening in your life? You want to know the answer to all those questions. If you don't have it, you need to get it and ask. And there's usually a doorway in to ask that, especially if people are really, really worried about their weight. And something you might say is, like, gosh, I know I'm a size blank, and this is the biggest I've ever been, or I haven't been here, but, like, it's a long time ago, and I thought I'd never be back here again. That would be your open door to be able to, like, okay, well, when is it that you were here, or when's the last time you were close to here, even if you haven't been at this number before. Get that info. You really need to get that. So Lynn was right on. That's important. What I'm thinking is that we go back to our dietitian hat tools and we do some anthropological work on what's actually happened with their food. This client hasn't food journaled in a while. In fact, she's not a client that sees me regularly. This is kind of her sessions have been spread out. Now we've kind of condensed them back together again because this issue has come up, but because she thought she was doing good, then she spread out her session. So I really think, as we're talking, I didn't force her. I felt like she needed to be more consistent, but that's not something she wanted to do. So, let her decide. But what we're finding is that she needs a more containment and more, honestly, accountability around taking the time to really, really hone in and check in on hunger and fullness. Because what we're discovering is that it's been harder for her than she thought to stop at fullness. So I suspect what's going on is that her interpretation of her cues is a little off. That's my guess. Now, I'm not going to tell the whole story here because that's going to be part of the case study package, but what I will say is that that's what I would suggest if you're in that situation. Do when somebody tells you, like, I feel like I'm doing fine with my food, but why is my weight going up? We need to know, again, has there been some weight repression because of any kind of food restriction whatsoever? Is there something medical going on, which we've talked about with this client, and that's not the case. She's had testing done, metabolic, all kinds of stuff. Everything comes back good. So if that's not the case, and her weight's going up, and she doesn't think she's restricting, then really what's going on with her fullness? Is there some unconscious eating? Is there some getting a little fuller than she thinks multiple times a day? What's going on? So we got to dig into the food. And so I'm going to leave it at that today, is when a client tells you that they're eating, you feel like they're eating fine. What you might find is there's something going on with either underestimating their fullness, meaning not feeling like they're feeling fuller. They're actually fuller than they feel like they are. And there's might be either just, lack of practice with interoception with that, or there's a little bit of feeling like they can't not get that full. And that goes back to something around attunement hunger and getting needs met. So that's what the whole case study is about. It's going to be in deep detail, with what I'm working on to write all the details of why I'm exploring certain routes with her and what happens with the different exercises I'm giving her to do and all that. So I hope this was helpful. I just want to give you a little kind of peek into it might seem obvious, but sometimes we got to circle back to our basics, which is digging in with the nuances of each meal, what's going on around the meal, what they're thinking, feeling around the meal, and gathering all that information so they can trust that they know what they know and they know what they feel. So I hope you all have a great day. I look forward to talking to you soon. And if you have again, fill out the survey. I'd love to hear more about what you'd like to learn about in terms of actual client work. And that will be coming soon. So take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.